Early colonists arriving in North America brought beliefs from their old countries, some enlightening and some very primitive. Unfortunately, insanity had fallen under the latter. People exhibiting horrid behavior were popularly considered to be possessed by demons or witches, and on occasion, the devil himself. Most everyone has heard of the Salem witch trials of 1692, and in recent studies of the historical documents describing the symptoms of the accused, modern psychologists have concluded what a majority of the executed witches were most likely insane. Witch hunting was not isolated to the Puritan New England. It was a common practice throughout the colonies. Throughout the next century in colonial America, the treatment of the insane person was almost always barbaric. Those without a family or friends who took responsibility for them were most likely placed in prisons with a company of common criminals, often chained to walls, and they were unclothed regardless of temperature. Most lay in their own filth. Some families did take responsibility, although, and they were more concerned with hiding their problematic relatives to avoid embarrassment than trying to help them. They stashed them away in attics, secreted sheds, and even placed them in holes in the ground. It wasn't until the 1770s that facilities began to construct specifically to house the insane. But again, these places were designed to hide the individual from society, not to help them. In the 1800s brought much needed change to the world of the insane. By mid-century, Thomas Kirkbright's theory of creating a curative environment took hold, and the age of the asylum had arrived. Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum was constructed between 1858 and 1881. It is the largest hand-cut stone masonry building in North America. It is the second largest in the world, next to the Kremlin. It was designed by architect Richard Andrews following the Kirkbride plan, which called for long, rambling wings arranged in staggered formation, assuring that each of the connecting structures would receive an abundance of therapeutic sunlight and fresh air. Dr. Thomas Story Kirkbright's theory on what he referred to as the moral treatment of the insane, a constructive idea unique to the United States for mental asylums from the mid to late 19th century. Essential to the realization of his vision was moving patients from overcrowded city jails, where patients were often chained to walls and in cold, dark cells, to a rural environment where grounds were tastefully adorned and buildings arranged resembling a shallow V if viewed from above. The design called for a comfortable living quarters so that the buildings itself promoted a curative effect, or as Kirkbride put it, a special apparatus for lunacy. These facilities were designed to be entirely self-sufficient, providing patients with a variety of outlets for stimulating mental and physical activities. The Kirkbride plan influenced the construction of over 300 similar facilities throughout North America. However, the 20th century brought changes in the treatment philosophy and more community-based treatments. The theory of building as cure was largely discredited. The expense of maintaining these facilities, combined with physical deterioration, has forced them to mostly be abandoned or some demolished. The original hospital, designed to house 250 souls, was open to patients in 1864. and it reached its peak in the 1950s with 2,400 patients in overcrowded and generally poor conditions. Changes in the treatment of mental illness and physical deterioration of the facility forced its closure in 1994, inflicting a devastating effect on the local economy from which it is yet to recover.
Welcome back to the Circle Path podcast. This is your host, Adam Skaggs, and my beautiful wife, Alicia. Say hi.
Hello.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. And you wanted to give credit to some...
Oh, their website, Trans Allegheny website. All of that information that I provided at the beginning of the podcast was strictly from their website. I just kind of threw it all together in different format, but it was all from them. So they have a lot of history on their page. So if you're more interested in that, you can go there and read that. It's not necessarily about the haunted history. I just kind of wanted to give a brief summary of, like asylums in, prior to asylums. Treatment of mental illness prior to asylums.
Okay. All right. I thought it was really interesting.
So, yeah. Cool.
So, I guess we should start with New Year's resolutions updates.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think last time we were talking, you were talking about your resolutions for this year. So should the audience be wanting to know an update?
Oh.
Let's hear it.
So it turns out I'm still a giant chungus.
It's what? A giant chungus. Okay.
I lost 3 pounds.
So, there you go. Still on the train.
Yeah. Not 30, but 3.
3 pounds in a week is awesome.
2.9 pounds of it was water.
Whatever. It's good. It's good.
No exercise has occurred.
Well, that's the benefit of low carb or whatever, keto.
Yeah. But I am drinking lots of water. So my job's paying me to pee.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Poo on the job, pee on the job, you get paid for it.
TMI, bro, TMI.
I mean, making that money, honey.
Okay. So,
peeing.
On that note, so yeah, we're doing good on the resolutions.
Yeah. So what about you?
So
I kind of forced you into the low carb.
Yes, I've been forced into the low carb as well. I don't know how much weight I've lost because my chungus ass doesn't want to stand on the scale.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're both fat and we're trying to lose weight. So the end. Okay. So
I'm about to hit in the hundreds.
there you go.
Okay.
So anyway,
So why we wanted to do this episode?
yeah. So we wanted to do this episode because we had a chance to visit the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
So to paint the picture, it was in December 2016.
Was it that long ago?
It was that long
Okay,
ago.
2016.
Yeah. So December 2016, we kind of decided we were going to go prior to that. It was probably about a month or so prior to that. So we're like, yeah, we're going to go. And little did we know that even though West Virginia is like one state away, it was...
Oh, that was a hell drive.
It was a drive.
Yeah, that was probably the worst and hellish drive I've ever been on.
Agreed.
Like I felt like I had been beaten by the time we got there.
Like the mountains, the hills.
Oh, yeah.
The deer.
Deer everywhere. I mean, we see deer here in Ohio, but
This is another level.
this is a whole nother West Virginia level.
Like it was wild and wonderful West Virginia, 100%.
Yeah, just the winding roads to get there is just insane, and the town is like up in the mountains, so it's...
No, I think it's kind of valleyed.
Was it? Is it like... So I mean, we went around a bunch of mountains. I guess.
I think it's down in because it was pretty foggy down there.
Okay, so maybe that's what it was. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, it's been 4 years ago apparently, so...
Three. About it was 3.
Or 3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, so the drive was crazy. We get there. It's like this little tiny Weston town. West
Virginia. Yep.
Yeah. So we get there. We are in awestruck of this giant building. We get there before anybody else. We decided to do a public ghost tour. It was our first ever we had ever done. So
First public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go there. We're like in awestruck of this beautiful building. It's kind of late at night. It's like about 7:00. I think the tour would start around 8 or 9. So we got there kind of early. We got us some Wendy's. I was eating fries.
Such is the Chungus way.
Yeah. Fries and a regular Coke.
Never get those again.
So what's that like? And so we hung out, kind of just took it all in. We get in there, they kind of talk to us, and it was fun because they kind of they assign everybody that takes the tour a reason why somebody was placed in the asylum. So do you recall why your person was placed in the asylum?
I forget.
I'm pretty sure mine was masturbation.
Okay. I think we still have that. I remember now. Okay.
So could you imagine you're walking on your whomever and they're masturbating and you just lay them up in an asylum for the rest of their life?
I guess that's how they did things back then.
Yeah. I mean, some pretty interesting stuff. So you can probably search and see why people were placed in asylums. So it's kind of interesting stuff. It's kind of sad. I know there was a lot of women and
children that got dropped off,
put in there because husbands were alcoholics and didn't want to,
or they left or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Sad types of things. So anywho, we get in there, and to make a long story short, we toured the building. The first floor was pretty uneventful, so they divide us up into 4 groups.
Well, let's give them a kind of an idea of how the building's laid out.
Sure.
It's like four floors, and in the middle there's this big staircase, and on either side of the staircase there's these huge long hallways.
And off those, so you have this huge staircase in the middle, and then you have these, like you said, two long hallways that have rooms, and then it kind of goes into like an H shape.
Yeah, so like one hallway in the front and one hallway in the back, and
Right.
they're attached by a little parallel hallway
Right.
on each side.
So it's like you have this staircase, and then you have like these two H's. Is how I would kind of
on every floor.
Explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is just the main building. There's also other buildings that we did not go to.
Yeah, we just got to go to the main building.
So first floor, I can't recall what was on the first floor now, but that one was pretty uneventful for us. I know that was like part of the main building from when they when it was opened up with the Civil War. That was some of the really old part of the building prior to it kind of becoming the giant hospital it was.
Well, I think so I want to say like Ghost Adventures and all those people got some good EVPs and good spirit box stuff going on on that floor, but we didn't have much luck when it came to that floor.
No.
But so as part of the public ghost hunt, they broke it out into 4 groups. I think we had like 10 in our group, maybe 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. And they were each, they started us on each different floor. So on the first floor, there was just our group across the entire building.
Right,
and
on the first floor.
Yeah, and there was 4 groups, and each of them started on the corresponding four floors, right? So
that was to reduce contamination and try to...
I mean, the building is enormous, so there's no way that there could be contamination if you put each people on different floors, right? So that's kind of what we did.
And then you were also given 2 hours per floor. So after you were on that floor for 2 hours, everybody would meet, would come back together. We'd go down to the main floor, kind of take a break, and then we would go to the next floor. So if you were on the 4th floor, you were going down to the 1st floor. And if you were on the 3rd floor, you're going to the 4th floor, et cetera, et cetera. So 1st floor, I definitely remember like the cafeteria felt very eerie and uncomfortable to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was kind of a creepy place.
And I think the 1st floor also housed where they kept the bodies. Is that the 1st floor?
Yeah, I want to say.
So if you had died, I don't know, did they cremate them there?
I don't know about that.
Or they just stored the bodies there?
I would imagine both, but I don't know for sure.
I can't recall. Yeah, so that was there, and that was creepy, but I didn't feel anything really there.
We didn't capture any evidence. We didn't get anything like that there. It was uncomfortable being in there, but it wasn't. We didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
So on the 2nd floor. We did get a few things, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You want to talk about that?
So 2nd floor, that's where we got the moaning, right?
2nd floor, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the 2nd floor, I mean, the 2nd floor was definitely a different feeling than the 1st floor. So our tour guide, he made sure that like nobody had flashlights on, like we were walking around in the dark, and it was really cool because he kind of
well set the story, set the backstory here too. Every time we switched floors, everybody was gone from that floor. There was nobody that was allowed to be on that floor other than the group.
Right. It was pretty much locked down.
Yeah, so keep that in mind when we go forward with the story. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No. So the floor is pretty much locked down. Once you're on the floor, I mean, you're allowed to leave. It's not like, no, you can't go to the bathroom. But, I mean, your group is on that floor, and that is where you're at, basically. So nobody from another group's kind of pondering around and being creepy. So it's just you and your group. So you can kind of go off and do your own thing. But as we were all walking around, we all kind of like gelled and jived together. So we stuck with our tour guide, and he does this every week.
Yeah, multiple times a week. Probably.
I mean, he was doing this by himself. Like, he was really familiar with everything, and
he was really good too.
Yeah. So we ended up in the bathroom of this. I don't know what hall was that.
So it was where they kept the younger teenage boys. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I recall the story, now it's been a couple years, but I believe now, again, I mean, this is for mentally unstable individuals, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what?
If they were actually mentally unstable at the time. I don't know. But in any case,
these could have been the kids that were dropped off by their parents, right?
Like, we have no idea. So, and I mean, if you're placed in one of these places, like, you're probably gonna.
It's gonna mess you up, probably.
Yeah, it probably is. So we get there. We're all sitting in the bathroom, and he tells us about a story of two boys. I think they were probably 16, 18, something along those lines.
Yep.
And the one boy had propositioned the other boy for, was it oral sex?
Yeah. Yep.
And he got very
in the bathroom there.
In the bathroom, and then the kid that was propositioned became very upset and killed the other kid.
So I think he stabbed him. He stabbed him several times, and part of the story was,
didn't he come crawling out into the hall?
Yeah, the guy came crawling out and was bleeding all down the hallway to the nurse's station.
Yes.
To where the nurse's station would have been.
Right.
And they have activity all down that hall.
Right.
As well as the bathroom.
So we're in the bathroom as a group. Everybody in the group is there in the bathroom. I believe there's like 3 or 4 stalls, and we're asking questions. And several of us have different measuring devices.
Yeah, we've got the EMFs going. We've got the SP7s going. We've got 2 flashlights in the windowsill, and in addition, I think he had his dowsing rods going as well. So everything was lighting up. Everything was going crazy. We were getting stuff on the SP7. We were getting stuff like our EMFs were pegging red most of the time. I think we were in there for like 45 minutes, if I remember right.
We were in there for a while.
Yeah, we've got it all.
It was a hotbed.
Yeah, we've got it all on tape.
So we're asking questions and we're talking to them, and we're asking yes or no questions, and the flashlight is responding with a yes and a no.
And that's pretty much the entire time the flashlight was doing that.
It was highly impressive. It was kind of an awe moment. And as all of us are sitting here in the hall, or sitting in the bathroom, in the hall, you hear this shuffling sound. Now, if you've ever been in the building, then you would understand. But if you haven't, then please understand that the halls are very large and
You hear everything.
you can hear everything. So nobody can escape the bathroom. And you can hear this shuffling sound in the hall. And then you hear this moaning, which we have on tape.
Yeah. And in addition to the moan,
We have the video of the flashlights going on and off with our questions and
But during the moan, we get on the SB7 somebody saying fuck, like really loud and very clear.
okay, so do you have that too?
Yeah, I've got that. We'll play that, but it was a really crazy moment because I was standing in the doorway with my back to the hall. Everybody was around me.
Well, everybody was
Like
in the bathroom.
around me in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
And as I was filming, I could hear like the shuffling behind me, but I didn't want to turn around because holy shit, something's right behind me. And I hear the moan literally right behind me. So something came up behind me and moaned essentially into the camera microphone. And we'll let you be the judge. We'll play this and we'll let you guys be the judge of this. Like, you guys let us know if you guys hear this, because this was clear as day to us.
Well, I mean, it was an audible. This is not something that was recorded and heard back. Every single person that was in the bathroom heard this.
Yeah, and you'll hear that on the clip here.
Like,
But it was insane. It was insane. So, here's the clip. You guys be the judge. Tell me what you hear. Let us know.
Are you not here?
No, I heard it.
It was like a moan. It sounded like a person.
Sounds.
So, there you go. So, tell us if you hear the moan. I mean,
I mean, how can you not hear it?
I mean, yeah, it was very loud. It was right behind me. It scared the shit out of me. Now, mind you, I mean, like, we've had a lot of paranormal experiences up until that point, but this place was just off the charts crazy.
When I think back of all the times and all the places that we've been, which isn't like a ton. I mean, we have kids and jobs.
We've been around.
But we've been to,
Yeah.
we do things every now and then. This is the place that I want to go back to.
Yeah,
And I want to get like a big group of people that just, I don't know, like one day I just want to rent it out with a whole bunch of people and just do it. I think it would be really cool. Anywho, so that was the second floor.
So, second floor was crazy. Third floor
was crazy.
Third floor was, it's just as crazy, if not more crazy than the second floor, right?
Yeah.
So, second floor, or the third floor, we learned about a character named, it was Bob, right?
I can't recall.
Something like that. Anyway, so as part of the story of the third floor was there was the
Third floor was real creepy feeling.
very creepy feeling.
I think as you go up higher, the creepier it felt.
Oh yeah, yeah, by far.
I mean, that third floor just.
Yeah, it gave me the creeps. It felt like some people were staring at you from every single room as you were walking down the hallway.
It was scary.
It was scary. So, as part of that floor, there was there was a story where this guy, he was mentally retarded. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was, but
I think he was mentally retarded.
yeah. So he was. I don't think he was there for any kind of criminal thing, but he was housed on the floor where they housed criminals, which was the third floor, right? So they had. There was two of the people that were in the asylum. Both of these guys cornered this guy that had the mental issues and tried to hang him multiple times.
They were like playing with him.
Yeah, it was very sadistic. It was really sick. And ultimately what happened was they put his head underneath of a bedpost.
Yes.
And jumped on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was sick what these people did. And obviously the guy died. And I think that they had removed not the inmates, but those two prisoners. I guess they're prisoners because they're there as inmates, right, on the third floor.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know. I mean, if
you're criminally insane, are you a prisoner? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what the terminology is, but they ultimately killed the guy. They transferred both of them out, and they both died in custody. I'm pretty sure. So when the story goes that one of these guys that killed this poor guy still haunts the place. And he's really active on the third floor there. So we got taken back to what was his room.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The whole group of us.
The whole group. Yeah. So we went back, and it's kind of like a windy. You go back into this room, and then cut through another room to get to his room.
Right. So remember, we have the staircase in the middle, and then you go way down this hall. So you have the staircase in the middle, and then you have these two halls. But to get to these halls, you have to go through a set of doors. So the staircase is blocked off by a door, So you got to go through the door. Then you got to go down this long hall with tons of rooms. And then I think at the very end, then you kind of cut through this little hall. Then you got to go down this other long hall. So basically, in order to get to this room, you got to go down the hall and through this hall and go down to this other hall. So, it's not easy. It's not an easily accessible room. And you're going to hear people walking towards you.
And this floor had wood floors. So they were creaky wood floors.
How do you remember all this?
I don't know. Call me Rain Man. Anyway, so yeah,
somebody's taking their ginkgo.
I got new brain stuff going on. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you can't. Nobody can come up without us hearing it.
Right.
So we're all sitting in this room, and the guide is using his dowsing rods, and it was pretty funny because he said,
we're sitting in a circle. We got our flashlights going. Everybody's got their stuff going. I think we're videotaping.
Yeah, we taped the whole thing. We got that. So they were using the dowsing rods, and he was asking the spirit, right? Who's your favorite person in this group? And of course, it points right at Alicia. And then the EMF goes.
Naturally.
Well, obviously, the most beautiful person in the building.
Oh, yeah. Chungus me.
Oh, stop. Anyway, so, yeah, the EMF starts pinging.
Yeah.
The one that you're holding.
Yes.
So he comes and just stands next to you or whatever. I don't know what he was doing, but we kept pegging.
Yeah.
So we kept talking. We were in there for probably 10 minutes, I would say, and the guy was talking about how he had left some, I think it was vodka or whiskey or something, in the wall there, because he was trying to befriend him so that he can, have better interactions with him on the tours, right? Remember?
Or offer him cigarettes or...
Yeah, it was cigarettes but he offered him some kind of alcohol.
Right.
I'm not sure what it was.
Okay, yeah.
Because he said he took it there and then he left it for like a month. Mm-hmm. And after that month, it was gone. So it was gone. Somebody took it. He said none of the people that worked there took it. So make of that what you want, but I don't know what happened to
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, so we're sitting there. We're getting these pegs on the EMF. And all of a sudden, we hear the door to the room literally slam shut. Slam.
It freaked us out. I mean, this is a heavy door, and it is loud. And it just, bam! And our natural instinct was, who the hell just slammed the door? Because it just was like at such a great force that it's hard for your mind to even comprehend that wasn't a person.
Yeah, it was
Like that's a spirit or energy or whatever that was. That was something else other than a human being.
what even scared the shit out of the tour guide because he was like, what the F was that?
Right.
And we all ran.
We all got up.
Yeah,
he went out and looked out in the hall because he's thinking like somebody
came up. Yeah.
But we would have heard them come up.
Yeah, we went out there. There was nothing out there. And this was like literally right afterwards. And remember what Alicia was saying? To get to this place, you have to go down like a football links field hallway, like 100 yards probably. Do a perpendicular hallway to that, and then come all the way back down the other hallway. There's no exit out of his room,
right,
on that back side of that hallway. So you have to go all the way back up, all the way down, and then all the way back up.
Right.
And we opened the door within 5 seconds of it slamming, maybe 5 or 10 seconds. And there was no one there.
No.
Nothing.
I mean, you would have seen her.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So, I mean, I don't know what that was. It wasn't wind.
No.
Because we went in December and there was no windows open. There was nothing going on there.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's be frank here. Like, there's plenty of windows that had cracks and...
Absolutely, but the door was...
But this was not the case.
Yeah, this was not the case there, and the door was heavy. So it was a heavy door, and it was slammed at, like...
I mean, this was a pissed off person.
Yeah. So he wasn't happy that we were in his room or talking to him or what, but he did not want us there.
No.
So I wish I had the recordings of that. I couldn't get it. So
well, we have them. We just
I couldn't get it in time for this show.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll post it on Twitter and maybe you guys can check it out there.
Yeah, or something. It's on our video camera too. So
yeah,
Adam, you're gonna have to try to figure that out.
Yeah, I'll work to get it. Yeah, it's
it's beyond my abilities.
Well, almost mine too. I don't know. So anyway, moving on from the third floor, we went up to the fourth floor. And the fourth floor, I guess maybe you should talk about fourth floor because our interpretations of things up there was a little bit different. Like meaning the shadow that we saw at the end of the hall. That was a little bit of a debate as to what we were seeing, right?
I mean, the fourth floor was very eerie. I can't remember what they housed up there.
There used to be this older woman up there that used to sit in a rocking chair at the end of the hallway, remember?
Yeah.
And at the end of the hallway, you would see, you would look down the entire length of the hallway, and there was this big circular window, probably, I don't know, it was like 3 feet in diameter.
It was very large.
Yeah, and there was light coming in through this window, so you could see if somebody's walking in front of this thing. So if you looked long enough, you would see a shadow going back and forth in front of this window.
It was kind of one of those situations where it's like, are my eyes playing tricks on me?
Yeah.
I've been up for a long time. Like, is this really something? I try to be as skeptical. I can't even speak right now.
You try to be skeptical, yeah.
Thank you.
Obviously, yeah.
Right. So I don't know what the hell I'm seeing. I mean, there was something, I think.
I mean, we all observed some kind of shadow there.
But there was something walking past, and it was clearly not like trees or anything like that, because when you go down there, I mean, there wasn't anything that was making shadows come through the window. I mean, this is late at night. This is probably about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Probably, yeah.
Something like that. So, I mean, it's late at night.
Yeah, I mean, it is super late, and you can't. I mean, we went up to the window, and there was
nothing coming
nothing
in.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for a shadow to be going back and forth across this window. There wasn't.
Yeah.
So, I guess that was kind of contested amongst everybody in the group there. Like, nobody knew what to make of that, right?
Right. I mean, I think everybody's seen it.
Uh-huh.
Everybody definitely seen it because it happened many times. But I don't know what it was that we were seeing.
Yeah.
And that was on the one side of the staircase.
Yes.
The other side of the staircase was a little creepier.
That's where we spent the majority of our time when we were up there.
Yeah. And that was the creepier side.
Yeah.
Of it. And we all sat down on the ground. And okay, so what's the show called that Nick Groff does?
Oh,
With Katrina. And they got that really good footage at Trans Allegheny.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that thing slithering around on the ground.
I can't remember that. It's not the Portals to Hell, but it's the other one.
I can't think.
Remember. Yeah.
Anyways, good show.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, their very first episode was actually Trans Allegheny, which made us really excited because of everything that we've experienced there. I mean, and this is just like minimal, like what we're talking about tonight. Like there was so much more than even what we're even talking about.
Yeah.
But that last hallway when we were all sitting there together, again, we were all sitting as a group. We all just kind of sat on the ground and we just sat in silence for a good while. And looking down the hallway, you could definitely see things moving. And it just felt like things were coming in and out of rooms. Like all the doors were open to the hall.
And you remember we heard one of the doors inside one of the rooms open as well. So we were sitting down there, and the tour guide had built some kind of relationship with one of the spirits up there.
And he said that there were some bad spirits up there.
Yeah, he says he's had some bad experiences up there, but the one that was right outside we were sitting right at the end of the hallway, outside of this room that he he interacts with whatever is there a lot. And we were sitting there listening, and he asked if he can make a sound. I think that's what it was. Make a sound and let us know that you're here, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. And we hear the door open, the closet door open in the room. Mm-hmm. That to me was pretty creepy.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just like a really creepy, eerie feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
If you
and it's like I don't even necessarily have a ton of like captures, I guess. But just the feeling up there, it just felt really heavy.
Well, if you listen to last week's episode, we talked about shadow people, right? So shadow people, if you want to see shadow people, the 4th floor of Trans Allegheny is where you want to go. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
because that's where they all
are.
That's where they all are.
So me and one of the girls in the group, we actually walked through there alone. Down, it's kind of like a challenge that they have. Can you walk all the way through both of the halls? Because remember, it's kind of like an H shape. So can you walk down through both of those halls alone? No flashlight or anything. Of course, I didn't do it alone. I did it with this lady.
Of course, yeah, of course not.
Adam was a pansy and didn't do it at all.
Well, I mean, like, because literally, I felt like people were staring at me when I walked past every room. It was like people were standing in the hallway.
It was creepy, but I mean, and I want to say when we came through the one area, like that little H spot, didn't get really dark through there.
Yeah, it was pitch black. You could not see a thing.
Which didn't make a lot of sense because there was some light coming through the open doors, like from the windows in the bedrooms, and then that area was just pitch black and just really heavy and just very uncomfortable. And I don't know, I can't really explain it. It was just really heavy. And I think that's the same area that Nick Groff and Katrina in that show. I can't think of the name. I think that's where they captured that
shadow slithering thing, yeah.
Person crawling, slithering, snake-looking thing on the ground, which was very similar to some of the things that we would see when we were there, which were things kind of going back and forth
across the hallway from different rooms.
We did see things that were slower moving and faster, kind of jolting past. So that was kind of interesting and really cool to see.
For sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. So they did a lot of interesting things there. So when I was actually doing some research, they did a lot of lobotomies there, which are basically thought to cure the mentally insane. And basically they would take an ice pick.
Oh, God.
And they would put it down into the corner of your eye.
Oh, my God.
And they would take a hammer and they would basically hammer this ice pick into your prefrontal cortex, I want to say. I could be saying this wrong. And they basically, once they would get it in there, they would just take this ice pick and kind of scramble the brain.
That's horrible. That's horrifying.
And they basically were breaking the brain apart. I mean, in so many words. I mean, you're scrambling the brain.
Well, yeah, it's no wonder people are just hanging out there because, I mean,
there was so this building was supposed to allow 250 people to live there. And when we're walking through, you can see it would comfortably hold 250 people. but at max capacity, I think they were at over 2,500 people. So they were 4 and 5 people sleeping to a room. There were people sleeping in the halls. There were people that have no beds, weren't getting showered. There was a lot of inhumanity. And I mean, I'm a nurse, so I can understand that, there are people that are overworked and it's hard and you have a lot of patients to take care of. And so, I mean, you have a lot of people that are just...
Do you think that contributed to the paranormal energy there?
I think so.
I think it would. I mean, because there's a lot of negative stuff that went on, and just the negative feelings of not being able to have a space of your own, which would be that's
You're already suffering from mental illness, which is, depending on what that is. I mean, it could just be... I mean, and again, like mental illness, quote, like if I'm masturbating, that doesn't mean I have mental illness.
Yeah,
it means
yeah,
I'm
totally.
horny. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So
imagine you, the masturbator.
Why's it got to be me?
You, Adam, the masturbator. You're sharing a room with somebody that may be schizophrenic, that is a alcoholic with DTs, and they're, severe gambling. I mean, you have, criminally insane. You just have a lot of different people that are suffering from a lot of different conditions, or no condition at all. I mean,
and you're trying to coexist there. It's horrible. It would be horrible.
It would be absolutely horrible. Yeah. So the building was created with good intentions, but ultimately...
Now, was the building like limestone? I've heard limestone conducts paranormal energy.
I don't know. I think so.
Okay, so maybe that's
that could be part of it too.
It could be part of it, right? I mean, stuff could be coming and going, right? Just based on the energy of the place.
Well, and then, the original part of the building, the Civil War. So they were bringing in the injured from the Civil War. And then you have, so now the Civil War's over. So now you have a lot of devastation and depression from the Civil War ending and people losing their jobs and just like the whole area, depression, just, I mean, and this building was basically their lifeline. Everybody in that community worked there. So, I mean, this was it.
For sure.
So, I don't know. It's just sad. Sad to think about. So, I mean, yeah, like I'm going to be a salty sister if I am stuck because my husband didn't want me anymore and he just dumped me off into this building and this is where I spend the rest of my life.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to be a pissed off bitch and I'm probably be haunting that place.
Be haunting it nonstop, yeah. So I guess to wrap this up, like let's talk about when we came home, right? So we left the place.
Okay, so we leave there. It's like 6:00 in the morning. We are exhausted. We've been up for pretty much about 24 hours because I think we worked the day before.
Yeah, we just went straight over there.
Dumb.
Won't make that mistake again. Yep. If we ever go back.
So we drive home, which was a pain in the rear. We had just gotten our car, brand new car, had like
1,000 miles on it, maybe.
1,000 miles on it. And that's because like 2 weeks prior, I think we like drove it to Chicago.
Yeah, something like that. It was like a brand new Honda.
I don't even think it had, no, I mean, it was less than a month old.
Yep.
And the car dies.
So we get it home. We get it home. We get it home.
We get home.
And there's all kinds of crazy shit that's happening at the house after this. We get it home, and the car's electrical system completely dies. Completely dies.
We take it back to the dealer. The Honda dealer has no idea what the hell's wrong with it. They literally kept it for like 2 weeks because they could not figure out why the stupid thing kept dying.
It wasn't battery. It wasn't fuses. It wasn't anything. If you're a car guy listening, or a car girl, or whatever, yeah, it wasn't what you probably think it was.
No, they could not figure out what was wrong with it.
Yes. So they actually had to involve Honda. They had to call Honda, and Honda had to come out and look at it and figure out what the hell was going on with it. They figured out it was the entire electrical system in the entire place, or in the entire car, that had to be replaced. They replaced the entire damn thing. And then it worked, of course, right?
Yeah.
So,
same week, the dishwasher goes out.
our refrigerator dies.
What else? I mean, this is all like same week we go.
Same week. This was after we get back, of course.
After we get back.
And looking back on all this, like, we didn't take proper precautions, right? We didn't. At the end of it, we didn't cleanse ourselves. We didn't smudge ourselves. We didn't do anything like that, right? It was, we go, we see what's going on, and come back.
Right.
So knowing what we know now, with the possibility that stuff can attach itself to you as you leave a place, I mean, literally, that seems to me what could have happened, because there was just so much stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that happened here too. I mean, like, I know we keep saying a lot of stuff. Like, what the hell's a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Just the noises and the unexplained activity, the creaking, I mean, we don't live in an old house. We live in a house built in the 90s. Our refrigerator at the time was
A couple years old.
a couple
4 or
of
5 years old, maybe. Maybe not even that old. Maybe 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just weird.
Nothing
weird
was
stuff.
old.
Yeah.
The car was like brand freaking new.
I mean, right off the lot. Right off the friggin' lot.
Right off the lot, it had like 2 miles. No, I think it had like 6 miles on it.
When we pulled it off
we
the
bought
lot,
it.
yeah. I mean, so skeptics will say, okay, well, it was the lemon when you bought it. Okay, fair enough.
I'll give you that.
Give you that. So that on top of our refrigerator dying, our washer dying, we got all of these crazy sounds going on.
My washing machine.
Oh yeah, the washing machine had issues.
I had to get a washer and a dryer.
Yeah, it was literally
Like every appliance.
It was the most expensive ghost hunt I think that probably has ever happened. Like in the history of ghost hunts, we were the one that got shafted on that one. So.
Yes.
So if we ever go back, we have to protect ourselves. And if you guys ever go out and go to this place, protect yourself, because stuff can hop on and hitch a ride home.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of bad there for a little bit.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in the house. Again, here I am saying this stuff word, but I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I mean, the footsteps, the things breaking, there was a lot of, I don't know.
Well, it could be paranormal. Could not be, right? So,
Right.
but I guess we'll leave it up to the listeners to make that determination, right? So,
We don't know.
yeah, we don't know, but the
It-
place was cool.
The place was way cool.
Yeah, you guys need to go visit if you get a chance.
It's in Weston, West Virginia, Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. It was changed to Weston State Institution, Weston State maybe. And then I think then it went back to Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. It took on its
but everybody knows it as that.
Trans Allegheny.
Yeah, so if you look it up, you'll find it under that name.
You'll find it. Yeah. Maybe we want to go back.
Yeah, we will definitely go back.
So we
but with
wanna know.
precautions next time.
We want to know, are you going to go? Have you been?
Yeah, tell us your stories.
Tell us your story. Do your research. Really cool place.
Yeah, email us your stories. We have our email. It's TheCirclePath@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We've got our Twitter, TheCirclePath. Hit us up there also if you want. We do some follows, or we follow us and we'll follow you back.
Yeah.
Also, you can visit us at the website also, TheCirclePath.com. I guess that's it, right?
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank everybody that's listened and
Yeah, this has
followed
been
us.
this is
so cool.
yeah, this has been really awesome.
Like, people want to hear what we have to say? Really?
I would have never thought when we started this that people would actually even want to listen to what the hell we say.
So then why do we do it?
I don't know. It was mainly for us, right? Or for me mainly. But it's
I
cool.
mean, I could have just watched Housewives.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. But it's really cool that you guys want to listen to us.
yeah.
And we appreciate each and every one of you. And we love to hear from you. So
I would love to hear from you.
yeah, so hit us up on Twitter. Once again, we're at The Circle Path. And TheCirclePath@gmail.com.
Yeah.
or TheCirclePath.com.
Or maybe we could get a really big group of people and we could all go to Trans Allegheny together.
Maybe someday.
That would be so cool.
That would be cool, yeah.
Okay.
If you guys are in the area of West Virginia and you would like to go, let us know, because we would like to go again. So
Yeah.
just let us know. Let us know your stories, and we'll see you next week, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for listening to The Circle Path. This is Adam, and that's Alicia. We'll see you next week.